Okay. So first of all, what I want you to understand is it's all about your desire to start preparing for IELTS, to go abroad, to have a better life for your family, for yourself. And I've seen many students that they want to go abroad just for the lifestyle, just for money. This is what they say in the beginning. But deep
Yeah.
within, what they don't say is it is all because of the struggles that they have seen their family doing their entire life. And they don't want to repeat the same thing, at least
Yeah.
not for their next generation. So it's all about having
Yeah.
a clear why.
But I don't want to. I don't have that the same intention that I have to earn hefty amount of money, sir. But I have some different approach
Okay.
because whatever I'm doing, I'm learning that how to keep calm yourself, how to where you have to open your mouth, where you have to shut your mouth, and that is I'm learning. I am dealing with lots of disrespect sometimes,
Okay.
and it is kind of learning. I think I can use it in abroad also. So I don't know where I'm lacking. At the end of the day, I don't have any you know a little amount of energy in my body that I can give it, that I can dedicate myself into practice. So it is happening right now.
Okay. See, what you need to understand is your 90% of your happiness or your sadness comes from people skills.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? 90% of
Yeah.
your happiness or your adversities is all because of your people skills. If you are good with people, you will know how to deal with situations. And people skills start with communication skills. If you want to interact with people, you have to use your vocal cords. You need to speak with them. You need to communicate with them. And not just
Yeah.
any form of communication, it has to be effective, it has to be concise. And that is the
Yeah.
only way. You have no other options. And the happiest people on this planet are the ones who have great terms with their loved ones, with their colleagues, with their business partners, and everyone.
Yes, sir.
So if you are facing a situation where people are disrespecting you, it is not your fault to start with. It is their fault that they are dumping out all their anger, their pain, and everything and on other people. That's not something that is human. That is not civil. But what you can do is, yes, definitely you can raise voice, and you need to put your perspectives to higher authorities. That is the only way. And in such a way that the higher authorities understand that what's happening with you is not something that they thought about when they started this business or whatever business you're in. Whether it is a hospital or a government official or whatever it is, they never thought that people would disrespect their peers, disrespect their subordinates, juniors, and stuff. So it is something that you can raise your voice. And as I said, you need effective communication.
Yeah, I think I have a problem in communication. Sometimes I feel that 70% of my sentences are really perplexed. I mean, it is maybe I'm not able to deliver what I want to say, or maybe I'm not able to make them understand. That it can be anything, or maybe they're not able to understand, they are not able to understand my thing. So I think both the scenarios, uh, there's a probability of.
So what you need to understand, Pooja, is that you are clear of exactly what's happening with you, what you are going through. Your reality is something that you need to convey to people so that they can understand your perspective. Are you getting the point? Your reality is something that you have to negotiate and explain it to people at higher authorities, and they will be able to help you.
Yes, sir.
Right? At the end of the day, it's all about you. It all starts with you, it ends with you.
Yes, sir.
Right? And about
Well,
IELTS preparation, sorry.
like, I think to some extent ability, I was able to speak with people. I was able to communicate. Like right now, I'm speaking, and I am doing mistake, and that is what I'm aware about it. And there's nothing that I'm not aware. I know that I'm speaking very wrong sometimes because right now I have such kind of feeling that I'm not speaking in a right way. So this is happening with me, and this is just due to less practice, or I'm not regular with the practice, I get very few time, very less time, so that I can give to my practice, to the speaking sessions. This is all about that. What is happening with me?
See, as I said, it all boils down to what's going on in our life. We go through different aspects. It's all not always sunshine and rainbows. You have to deal with stuff. You have to deal with a lot of problems. And that's how life is. That's how life kicks in the moment we hit adulthood. And that's a
Yeah.
part of life.
Yes, sir.
I'll share something that I showed to one of my students who was going through a tough time. I'll try to find that photo and I'll try to share it here. It was something about roses. I'll show you the photo. It will make it absolutely clear of what I'm trying to convey.
Yeah, I understand, but if you want to, then definitely.
Sorry, your voice was speaking the last time.
Yeah, I was speaking. I know I completely got you. I got your point. I got your attention intentions that you want to show me the picture of roses with the
Yes,
lot of spikes and
exactly.
the rose is really beautiful, but it has also ugliness or pain.
Yes. The quote or so called the
Definitely.
status is rose bushes have thorns. You can complain that rose bushes have thorns, or you can rejoice that thorns have rose bushes at the end. That is what the story was.
Sometimes I feel that I'm beating against the bush, like uh, it's like that I'm wasting time. Or sometimes I really feel energetic. Okay, I'm learning something, I'm doing great. The day when I read one passage, I listen one audio, or I try to write something or try to speak a lot. That day I really feel it's really fulfillment. I feel like mindfulness. There is nothing. Peaceful, and it is really amazing. And when I didn't get time, I'm talking about the past time. So it was like that. Okay, there was something missing. I'm not doing great. I'm not in a right direction. That kind of feeling I always had.
True. I'll try to portray something on this screen. Let me show it to you. Let me know once you can see the whiteboard. Is this visible? Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what we expect. This is what we expect life to be. But do you think that is the case every time? And even if we put 100%, on some days our 100% is this much, on some days it is this much. Some days it again small, again big, and this is how 100% looks like. Not every
Yeah,
single day will be as effective and as perfect as you desire it to be. That is the reality. This is not how it works.
yeah,
You have to understand this and you have to accept this. The second thing is, for one person this might be their 100%, and for others this might be their 100%. But both of the people, both of these individuals are giving their 100%. And
mm,
sometimes your days will be good, sometimes it will be not. And that is how it
yeah,
works. That's life.
yes,
Got it? And what I'm trying to convey is, you need to accept certain things as it is, and you need to change certain things as per life guides you.
yeah.
Right?
I need to change my approach. Maybe I am just looking forward a negative side more, like in comparison to positive side of this. Maybe.
I'll read out something that I recently, like, it's a statement that I would say that I'm married to. Whenever you make a mistake, it's not mistakes, it's lessons speaking out to you. Whenever you make a mistake, those are not mistakes, Those are lessons speaking out to you. So once you understand this part, you will move on to the next stage of life where you will be given a new problem. And again, you will be at square one where you'll try to figure out. And then again, these are not errors or mistakes. Again, those are another lessons of next stage.
Yes.
All right. You just need to make sure that you're constantly learning.
Yeah.
I've seen people every time they make a mistake, they just get up as quickly as possible and then they start again without analyzing what went wrong. Introspecting is something that is mandatory in life. Introspecting
Yeah.
means you need to check what mistakes you are making. If
Mm.
someone is behaving bad with us, if we are not able to wake up early in the morning, if we are not able to do the things that we are supposed to do, it also means that we lack a little bit of self respect. It's a painful point that I understood personally. It hit me a lot terribly, and this is the reason I'm conveying it here. So, if you've noticed, if your boss tells you that you need to reach the office an hour ago and you have to meet a client, you have to make sure that this is done, you will do it. And that is how the corporate life is. But the
Yeah.
moment you decide that you want to wake up early in the morning and you want to just meditate, you won't do that.
Mm.
80% of the time, we don't do that. What we do is
Yes.
we end up procrastinating.
Yes.
And procrastination is the assassination of all destinations. Remember this one.
Yeah. True. When we start procrastinating, we every individual just far away from their dreams or goals in their life.
This is what you need to understand. Procrastination is the assassination of all destination. And as I said, it's all lack of self respect. We do respect everyone that we meet but ourselves. So if you're not able to set your goals, even if you set your goals, if you're not able to follow them, it's all lack of self respect. If your boss tells you that I need this report in 10 minutes, you will start running like anything. But what
Yeah.
about yourself? Your own life, your own goals, your dreams, your destinations. We don't show the same efforts for ourselves.
Yeah.
All right. It's a painful lesson that I personally learned with experience, and one of my mentors explained this, and I got it right away. It's all about self respect. So, you just need to start loving yourself more, be acceptable of who you are, and sometimes also you need to accept certain situations. If it is in your hands to change it right away. Got it? And about IELTS, it's all a dream, it's all a desire that you want to do this, you want to do that. But the moment that dream becomes a thing that you have to make sure that you clear this test by improving your communication skills. Things will start working in your favor because you'll be focusing on the destination, no longer the bands, no longer on the errors that you make. You'll see every error as an opportunity to improve.
Yeah.
All right.
So, like one day I vividly remember that you one day you mentioned that back in time I'm talking about,
Hmm.
like you said just focus on your problems, like where you are lacking.
Hmm.
So I just started doing the same, like where I was lacking, especially the grammatical part. Really, I was deep down, like I was guilty, like why I'm not doing. I know the thing, but why I'm repeating the same mistake.
Hmm.
So when I have gone through the particular part of the grammar, then when I grab the knowledge, when I grab the perfection in that particular part, then whenever I get that part or element in the passage or any kind of reading,
Hmm.
whether it is article, so I find myself really contentful. Really, I mean, I'm really happy that I'm solving that mistake with really skillfully.
Hmm.
So it is amazing, and I'm just trying to focus on those things where I was lacking. So I think to speak is I think before speaking like a fluent speaker, I need to do some struggle with, or I need to do some preparation so that I can use it while speaking.
Okay, you need to understand this thing that you cannot prepare yourself towards fluency. It's something that you unlock. I'll repeat
Yeah.
this again. You cannot prepare yourself towards fluency. You cannot start working hard and expect yourself to be fluent. It's something that a feature we already have within ourselves, and you just need to find that key. What I mean to say is, have you heard about the power pose? This is something that I
Yeah.
shared recently with one of my students. Power pose. Do you know what that is?
Power pose, is there anything related with any kind of like exercise or practice or
Nope.
any
It's a
mental
posture.
practice?
It's a posture. Try this
Okay.
the next time. Try to stand in this way, and you will start feeling confident. If you might have tried it in the past, you might feel that you feel a little bit confident. Even you might have seen certain people sitting like this. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
They're already depicting confidence. Even if you just sit at your house and do this thing, you'll start feeling confidence. Why does that happen?
Because they are sitting very free without any kind of botheration, no tension. They are just taking rest. They are showing that, okay, here I am, like something else. They are just observing.
Correct. Have you seen people who are just sitting or just standing, not even in the power pose, or just speaking? They're already confident without these poses. So, what changed between these poses and showing confidence naturally?
Practice
No. Others,
or
Chirag
their
and Ashley.
perfection.
One second. Chirag and Ashley, you can also give your input. Or else, Pooja, you can continue. Like, what do you think is the difference? You might have seen people who just hold a mic and speak confidently. They're not doing any power poses or anything, but the moment they speak, they are already confident.
Intention, I guess,
No.
or the thought process they have, the approach they have, the mindset they have, that is different.
I give one of the best examples of a speaker who is confident with their speech. Is this person confident?
Yeah, definitely.
Very confident. He is the ex
Yeah, very
prime minister, sorry,
confident.
ex president of the USA.
Yes, sir.
So, is he doing any power poses right now? He's just standing,
Mhm.
he's just speaking to a bunch of crowd.
Naturally, he's talking naturally.
So, how is this different than these two images?
Far difference between these two images. So,
So,
there's
what you need to understand is this person, these two people, and this person all are equally confident. The only thing is, when these three people, I'm talking about the initial two images, the first two images, these people are doing the power poses and they are feeling confident. And you can do the same thing. If you start doing this, you'll start feeling confident. That means confidence is something that you already have within you. You just need to channel it through your speech. Same confidence, there is no change. This is something that I realized while I was teaching something to one of my students. Because I'm still the same person. If you talk about me, I was not confident. I used to do these power poses just for sake of seeing that if I could be confident. There was a time. But now, when I speak, I can channel the same confidence in my speech. And fluency is the result of clarity. You need to understand that. It's not practice, it's clarity. Fluency is the result of clarity. So when Barack Obama says something, is he absolutely sure that this is the right thing to say?
Because he has clarity that whatever I'm saying, it is in right direction, and it is no one can claim on that particular statement.
And
He
when
is
he's
confident.
and when he speaks that with fluency, with confidence, people start understanding what he's exactly trying to convey.
He has clarity.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Like majority of time, I am confused. Maybe I'm not able to deliver my intention. I'm not able to put across my thing. I think
Hmm.
that is the main problem.
Okay. You need to understand two things about clarity. One thing is, if you feel that you're confused or you don't know what to do, speak, or just whatever it is, like action words or whatever it is, when you're confused about these things, what I'd recommend is start reading or watching content related to that field. And you might have heard about an opposite problem. There is something called a writer's block. Have you heard about this? Writer's block.
Yeah.
You might have heard about this. So these people are well read. They have a lot of ideas. They have written a lot of things. The problem is they get stuck sometimes. And this is when they start journaling their thoughts slash again writing. A writer might be stuck creatively, but he or she still has the ability to write. So you just need to organize your thoughts on a piece of paper, and this will give you clarity. Again, I'll repeat the same thing. This is for clarity. If you're confused, if you don't know what to do or speak, start reading and watching other people, because they already know what they're doing, and this will give you clarity. If you think that you have
Yeah.
a lot of things to share, you're exactly not sure what to share, you should start journaling your thoughts, and this will result into clarity. The more you understand a content, the better clarity you will have. And one of the best epitome of clarity is mind maps. Have you seen mind maps?
Yes,
I've
sir.
used a lot of them in the past as well. I'll show you an example. This is a mind map. A person who created this is absolutely sure of what he's trying to convey, and while creating this mind map, the person becomes more clear of what this thing is, more than the viewer. We as viewer are just watching this mind map, we exactly don't know what this is, but when you start reading this and start connecting the dots, you'll have more clarity. But will we have as much clarity as the creator of this mind map?
The person who made it, definitely he or she has had clarity
Exactly.
about what they're writing on it.
So whenever you are stuck with thoughts, you can mind map. Mind mapping is a free thing to do. You can use a piece of paper and a pen randomly, any paper and pen, to just jot down your thoughts to have more clarity. As speakers, what we should do is we should learn how to use keywords effectively. In terms of IELTS, we don't have that luxury of starting to create these mind maps and drawings and colors. We don't have that option. So the next best option is write down the keywords. So that keyword to the second keyword to the third keyword will give you transition. You don't have to think about the whole story. You can focus on a particular content, a piece of content. Are you getting the point? The best is mind map if you have the luxury of time. Unfortunately for IELTS speaking, we don't have that luxury. So we depend on keywords.
So,
So one keyword to other. You just need to find that correct transition. And I already shared that while taking notes, make sure that it is in big letters so you don't have to stop to read this. You should be able to see it while you are speaking. Got it? This gives you clarity. And any
yes, sir.
speaker who speaks clearly means they know exactly what to say next. Not just the current thing in their mind, they already know what to say, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And professional speakers, they know the entire topic. because they have practiced it a lot. They have already conveyed this thing in the past. So now when they are thinking in the present, they already know what next topic to cover. And I endorse TED Talks a lot. You might have seen those people watching a small screen in front of them. It shows a timer, it shows the keywords that they need. That's it. That's all they have. They don't have the script. But when we watch reality shows, they have this entire script. They do this re-recording again and again. You might have seen them. They're just reading scripts. But for TED Talks, they don't have scripts. They have keywords.
Yeah.
Correct? I'm trying to like merge these two aspects, one of life and one of IELTS. I'm trying to combine these two things together. I'm trying to weave it together. So clarity is not a rocket science. It's just about having a definite purpose of what you want to convey. Correct?
Yep.
Right. Anything else that you'd like to ask? Chirag, Ashley, or Pooja?
Sir, like every day we, uh, like, I think you gave all the, like, a perfect answer of my all question, that one thing is procrastination, one thing is clarity.
Hmm.
So when these two things mixed up, y- uh, every individual usually has a have a like a great mess in their life. So I think I'm getting my answer. So I have only that, like, I'm at the level. I think I'm at low level right now. Again, I know how to put up myself, but I'm not able to decide that how I can start.
Hmm.
Like, I'm reading, every day I'm listening. I'm trying to grab those words, and even I'm trying to repeat the particular vocabs, whether it is phrase or impression. I'm trying to use it in my, like, in a daily basis.
Hmm.
So where I'm lacking, where I'm doing mistake, why I'm not able to put across my thing, like, in a different way. Like, whatever the mistake I was doing in past, that was the one thing. And right now, whatever I am doing, that is also the same mistake. Then what is my improvement? Then what I did. So every day I'm just hanging around my problem, my illusion, right? So this is that how to start effective speaking. Like, every day, I think I'm not talking about, like, past 2 3 years what I did. I'm just talking about the lately, that 1 week ago I was really, I give extempore on particular topic, like that was human development, the human brain development. It was a topic. It was 10 minute speech. I gave the speech with with a fully confident I was, and there was no mistake in that. Any sentence or any like any kind of any part of that particular topic. But right now, I am feeling that if you are giving me any kind of topic, whether it is relatable or not relatable, familiar or not familiar, I'm not able to put across my thing in a right direction.
Hmm. Okay, let me try to answer this question, but I'll try my best to simplify. Let's start with a small story. I'll share an adorable image of an infant. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can see the father holding his baby boy or baby girl, I'm not sure, but what is the kid doing?
he or she is just doing, like, embracing his or her father.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Her father is consoling, like, giving a support.
Okay, anything else?
Or maybe the baby is sleeping.
Mm, okay. This small kid eventually grows up and becomes capable of speaking, but their journey starts at day 1 in this world all the way to 2 years old when they start speaking. So what did they do from this to this in order to become a person who can convey their ideas by speaking? By 5 years old, they start understanding and sharing stories as well. If you have noticed, kids run to their moms and be like, "Mom, this happened, that teacher taught me this person bait me." Like, they start sharing their own stories verbally. But on day one, they were barely moving their hands and legs. So what is that transformation that took place from here all the way to here? What do you think happened to that?
Like like it was a time that he or she got like victory at every single milestone. Like slowly he learned or she learned that how to crawl. Then the baby learned that how to stand up with the help of with the support of a wall or with the support of their parents. Then how to start walk without any support. So that we call in our medical language that the baby is getting like very skillfully their milestone. They are getting victory on their milestone. So there is year decide. There is a time decide that okay, this the baby is 5 month now, 6 month now. He will or she will okay try to give expressions now. 9 month, 1 year now. He or she will start crawling. Now he will stand up. So the time is fixed, and everything comes by practice. So there is a lot of struggle between infant or between an adult.
True. I'll show you another image. I'll try to prove the same point but in a different way. You might know about this character. What is this?
Yeah,
Who is this character?
Mowgli.
Mowgli. In this movie, they depict as this guy Mowgli learns how to speak with animals and learns how to climb trees. But do you think this kid, when that kid becomes 5 year old, will the kid be able to climb trees as good as this guy?
No.
No, why not? So what changed? You did say that at this particular age they will start walking, they will start speaking. I don't think this person, this kid, Mowgli, would even be able to communicate with human beings. It is something
No.
it's meant to be, meant to do, but it won't. What changed?
Exposure, the
Exposure,
learning, yeah, the environment.
correct? The environment changed. Also, in both the scenarios, this kid, this infant who is just sleeping, and this kid who is around 5 to 7 years old, what both of them do is observe their surroundings. So one of the best skills that we as kids had was observation skills. You might think that
Yeah.
this baby is just sleeping right now, but the kid is observing its surrounding. If it grows up in a family that is abusive, that is harsh to people, that gets angry all the time, who only watches television, the kid will grow up to be a person who does the same thing.
Yeah.
But if the same kid is grown up in a family who are calm, who are polite, who reads books instead of just scrolling through social media, like doom scrolling, the kid
He'll
will follow the
become
same thing, the good traits.
idle and diligent. Yeah, diligent.
Yes. So they had one of the best skills, that is observation. So we just changed the context. We just changed a proper family environment to a jungle environment. And the kid grows up to be someone who follows the same tradition. It watches other animals and it does the same thing. It mimics the same thing. So again, observation and repetition.
Yeah,
That is one thing that is missing, a key ingredient that is missing.
observation and repetition.
True, but there is a key ingredient missing. that kids have extremely, like we get fed up of because of that particular skill. Parents are fed up because of that skill.
Dedication.
Sorry.
Asking questions,
That is called, exactly, that was actually, I suppose, yes. So what is that called?
their curiosity.
Curiosity. Perfect answer.
Yeah.
So do we have the same level of curiosity as a 5-year old?
No, sir.
We don't. So how did they learn all these difficult skills? By the age a kid is in 5th standard, they know how to speak well in the language that they are taught at school. They know how to read well, they know how to listen well, and they know how to write well. Just within a couple of years, they learn these most difficult skills that we right now as adults are struggling just to change things up a few notch. And yes, again, habits. We're talking about habits that we are unable to change. About habits, I'll share a, it's not a code, it's something that I speak, something that I've built up, that if you make a mistake, let's consider it as a genuine mistake. If you repeat that mistake, it would be now considered as your ignorance to your previous mistake. Now, if you repeat the same mistake countlessly, that's no longer a mistake, it's a bad habit that you have developed accidentally or unwillingly. Should I explain this one or is it obvious?
It is understandable. Understandable, sir. It is.
It's simple to read and understand. That's it. If you make a mistake, we'll consider it as a genuine mistake. It happens. We are human beings. When we try something new, we are doomed to make mistakes. And it's a great thing because mistakes are our stepping stones. This is something that I already shared in the beginning, that these are not mistakes, these are lessons speaking out to you. The second line says, if you repeat that same mistake, now it is considered as your ignorance because you did not correct it the very first time you made that mistake. Again, if you repeat the same mistake again and again and again, it's no longer a mistake. It's already a well developed terrible habit or a bad habit that you developed accidentally or unwillingly. Nobody told you that this is not how it is done. One of the recent things that I shared was one of the should always be plural. By the time we interacted, you already completed 2 decades of your life. I'm talking about you all are 20 plus year, 20, 25, 27 years plus. But for the past 2 or maybe 2.5 decades, none of your English teachers told you that one of the should be plural. And I can guarantee that if you check your old textbooks, your fair books, you had made those mistakes in the past as well. It's not something that you're making now, it's something that you used to make when you were a kid. If these mistakes were corrected, nobody would have to tell you these things. It would have been a common sense. But let's say nobody corrected you. I would consider myself as well. I did not know these things when I studied in school. I studied in an English medium school. Still, I did not know these things. I've made the same mistake in my fair books. I can go in the past and check my fair books. Those mistakes are there.
Yeah.
But let's say those mistakes were not corrected, and we were one of the few unfortunate ones. So now what can we do?
We have to focus. We should have a curiosity to learn in a right direction, and we have to observe that where I am doing mistakes, and it should not be repeated.
It should not be
But
repeated. But how
but
do you
the
even get aware that these are mistakes? Because I've seen many of the mistakes that I've corrected of all of you in the past. You did not
when
know
we
it
don't
until
notice,
then.
there is one saying, I don't know, I'm not able to put across or not, that there's one saying, when you like, that is in Hindi, like,
Yeah,
जब
say it in
आप
Hindi.
जिस रास्ते पे गए नहीं आप उसका पता कैसे बताओगे, तो that is the thing, like that. So it is, if I'm not able to read, if I'm not able to touch that part, that how, so how I can use that particular
True. And for
thing?
that, you need to introspect. I've used this word in the past as well. You need to audit
Yeah.
yourself. Yourself in the sense, your speech, your writing mistakes, your reading. Not, I wouldn't say errors, but reading capabilities. Are you able to understand certain levels of lexicons? Are you able to find the correct meaning? And your listening inaccuracies. So these are the things you need to introspect. And how do you do that?
By doing repeatedly, we have to do practice.
No, that is a terrible thing to do. I did mention repetition as one of the skills you need, but what if you start repeating incorrect habits or incorrect things? You become a master of them. Then
Yeah.
it becomes harder to change. So that is not the correct answer. Practice makes a man perfect. That is one of the worst quotes that I've heard. Practice makes a man perfect. First of all, it is gender specific. The person who made that quote did not consider women. That's wrong. So practice makes a man perfect. I don't agree with that. And another thing is perfection. That's a myth. You cannot pursue perfection, and you will never reach a destination where there is perfect, like everything is perfect. That never happens. If that were the case, the richest company in this world would not launch new products every single year. I'm talking about iPhones. Every year they have new products, new variants, new models. So perfection is a myth, and practice is not the answer. So what is? A quote that I already shared with both of you.
Mm, yeah, it is.
It starts with practice, but we'll use the verb fifth form, the ing form. Practicing with proper
Proper.
techniques and an intention to improve is what gives you progress. And this covers both the genders, so this is not a gender specific quote. This is something that I build up myself. But what I'm trying to say is, it's not just repetition, because this guy repeated the same things that he or she saw. Of course it's a he, so he saw, and this kid did the same thing that they saw, repetition. But the thing is, this was a controlled environment. The dad, the mom, their friends, family members, relatives, everyone made sure that the repetition done was correct. Because you have seen kids putting their thumbs in the mouth. Is it a good habit? Putting your thumb in your mouth, is it a good habit?
No, sir.
No. So have you seen those moms running behind those kids, like pull your tongue out, like pull your thumb out? So that is proper techniques, teaching proper techniques, what to do, what
Yeah.
not to do. So constant telling kids that this is what you need to do, this is what you don't need to do. Our moms used to run behind us, our dads used to run behind us just so that we brush our teeth. Now we don't even realize, but every single day we do brush our teeth. So
Yeah.
proper techniques is something that we build when we were kids. That is the reason we don't have to think about it. Right now, for
The
instance,
discipline,
sorry,
the discipline in our practice is
discipline.
really matters.
Our parents were there to control that part. They took care of it. For instance, right now, I'm speaking for the past 30 minutes or so, 30, 40 minutes. We are having this
Yeah.
conversation. But I'm not constantly thinking about what next to say. I'm just focusing on the present moment. I'm thinking about the answers and then the next topic that I should address. And I'm able to do it fluently because of years and years of practice and proper techniques. So, how did I reach that proper technique? I had to observe myself, I had to find my own errors, and I had to look for people who did it better. I recommend YouTube, like one of the best platforms created in this world. TED Talks, podcasts, interviews. You can watch these things. You
Mhm.
can observe people who can do things better than you.
Yeah.
Got it? And once you start watching these content constantly, when you start consuming these content, that becomes your new environment. That becomes your discipline. That becomes the people who correct you. And see, it's not just about practicing. As I said, we cannot substitute practice with anything. Again, proper techniques. What if I give you the world class? Like, I can literally say that, what if I give you world class IELTS coaching, but you don't even want to improve your communication skills? Would you even join these sessions? So, what's missing? For the people who don't join, they don't have the intention. Why would you spend a Monday night with a stranger who is talking about communication skills? So,
Because they
again,
don't have intention.
intention. It's all about intentions. So, it doesn't matter who the teacher is or who is sharing value. If you don't have that intention to improve, why would you watch something like that, or why would you listen to someone like that? So these three key ingredients are practicing, of course, but for that you need proper techniques. And if you have both those things without an intention, it's useless. Got it? So these are the main three key ingredients. Intention to improve. And this is what you'll eventually see, that every single day you're correcting a few errors every single day. And eventually, this is what we get, a massive improvement. And this is what's required, that is time. Back to our toddler, our infant. Does a parent say that you are just born, you are 3 months old, I want you to start preparing for IELTS and clear this test within the next 6 months? Would they dare to say that to a kid?
No.
No. But there are adults who say the same thing. Their default language is something else. There are Gujaratis, Punjabis, from different parts of India, different parts of the world. They know one language very well because they have spent 2 to 3 decades of their lives learning that language. I'm talking about their mother tongue, native language. And then they want to learn a second or maybe a third language. They call it English, and they say ielts sikhado, ielts teach. These are the words that they use, and I know that where their level is, what their current level is. You might have heard those people as well. I'm preparing for
Yeah.
ielts. That's done. Like, I don't even touch those students. I don't even like enroll them if they are not even willing to change this basic aspect of the test. So this is a new language for them, so you need to spend some time, you need to invest some months, maybe a few years to master this language, just like you gave yourself 2 to 3 decades to master your mother tongue. So this is another language. So back to square one, you need to have observation skills. You need to observe other people who can speak the language very well. You need to repeat certain things. This is your practice part, but again it needs two more ingredients, that is an intention to improve, and the second thing is with proper techniques. If you do repetition with these two things, you will start seeing progress. And the most important part is curiosity. Start asking questions, keep asking questions. The more questions you ask, the more you know. There is this saying that a person who does not ask a doubt or does not clear a doubt when they get an opportunity will be a fool for lifetime, but the person who clears their doubts instantly will look like an idiot for a while in front of others, but they will clear the doubt, and that doubt will never bother them again in their life.
Yes, sir.
So we started our session with clarity, how to bring clarity, how to bring fluency. and we reached all the way here. So, what do you guys think? Do you think it's a short term process or a long term investment of learning
It's
a
a long
language? It's a
investment.
long term investment. You need to constantly improve. Correct?
Yeah.
And for introspecting, if you are not that lucky, you can do it by yourself. You can remove your fillers and stuff. You can start recording yourself, you can listen to yourself, and be ultra conscious, like super conscious of all your fillers. And once you start noticing that there are fillers, you just need to make sure that you don't have fillers. You just need to speak slowly and speak at a slower pace. So if you start speaking slowly, you'll be able to control those pauses, control those fillers, and you'll be able to minimize them. You'll be able to take appropriate pauses, not way
Yeah.
too big pauses. You'll be able to eliminate those stretching. The word is a and d and, but some people say and, that is stretching. The word is but people say but. Same applies for many words. That is called stretching. These things are clearly audible. You can listen to it and you can start changing it as soon as possible. The more you do it, the more conscious you will be, and the next time you attempt that particular part, you'll be able to correct yourself. Correct? So there are some things you can do. As I said, if you don't have a person to correct you, you can do it by yourself. Then comes vocabulary. You don't need a grammar expert. I'll show you all the 4 aspects. Let's talk about all the rubrics. How many rubrics are there? I'm talking about the entire IELTS. Let's start with speaking. We have fluency and coherence. Then let's write it properly. Then
Grammar.
grammatical range and accuracy. Anything else?
Because
Lexical resources. Anything else? There is one important thing pending. I've been speaking for the past 55 minutes. What if my pronunciation is terrible?
coherence, like pronunciation, yeah.
Pronunciation. Your pronunciation should be clear enough and audible enough so that the other person can understand. So without pronunciation, doesn't matter how fluent you are, how coherent you are, doesn't matter how many grammatical range you show, your accuracy and lexicals. These things does not matter until and unless you start becoming clear and concise. Like conciseness should be there eventually, but make sure that it is clear. You articulate. You need to articulate your sound, your speech. Let's add other aspects as well. I'll add writing. So automatically task, achievement, task, response gets added. Is there anything else that we need to add? One thing is pending.
Task achievement, task response, and wait, cohesion and coherence, like something.
Yes. Now let's eliminate the aspects that are not required. Like you don't need a tutor to have these things. For pronunciation, can you learn it by yourself?
Yes.
Can you learn pronunciation? Yes, of course. There are many people who don't know what IELTS is, but their pronunciation is absolutely clear. So this is a skill that you can learn by yourself. What about fluency? People are extremely fluent and they might not have idea what IELTS is or what this test is all about. Coherence means being logical and consistently being logical. So you're not asked to start walking and you're starting to walk wherever you feel like. It's walking particularly from point A to point B, and that exact thing applies for speaking. So you're not supposed to just speak and speak. You need to speak on the given topic. So that is coherence. You need to be logical about the topic and consistently you need to answer the question. So fluency and coherence. Do you think that you need an IELTS tutor to teach you these things? Definitely not. And the last two, of course, you don't need anybody to learn these things. You can learn it by yourself. You can start, see, without even learning what grammatical range and accuracy is, you can still have a very good grammar without knowing what parts of speech are. And that is only possible if you listen and read as much as possible. Because kids, for instance, do they speak correct grammar even before they start going to schools in their native language?
No.
Do they speak with wrong grammar? There might be
They.
mistakes, but whatever they speak, that is exactly what their parents taught. So if their parents
Yeah.
have good grammar, the kids will say the same thing. They might not know what noun is or pronoun is or tense is, but they will be able to convey that message as per the correct tense. I'm not talking about the English language again, I'm talking about their native language.
Yes,
So
sir.
you can learn it naturally just by observing. I'm talking about the skill that we saw of a toddler. Where is it? Yeah. Observation. Just by observing how people speak, how people convey certain things, you can learn good grammar. But then if you want to show advanced grammar, you not need to show your skills, you need to prove your skills, then yes, you need to learn the aspects of IELTS as well. Like not specifically IELTS, I'm talking about just grammar in general. You can learn different range of grammar and then you can make sure that you're accurate by practicing. And the last one, of course, lexical resources. Once you understand how vocabulary works, then you'll be able to learn a lot of vocabs. A key hack would be learning prefix, root, and suffix. Do you know what these things are?
What is original word and prefix and suffix? We all know that how we can change the word by adding uh some other word in front of the any verb or any vocab.
Hmm.
So it completely changed the meaning of
Yes,
particular word.
true. You need to learn a lot of root words and then you need to understand how prefix and suffix works. I'll give you a simple instance. The word is dictate. What is the word? What does it mean? Dictate.
Means writing something.
To
Someone is
write
speaking
or speak.
something.
Can you dictate
Yeah,
this to me in writing? Can you dictate this to me in verbally?
yeah,
Like verbally. So dictate means to write or speak. So the word
yeah.
is dictate. Dict. The word is dict. Dict. So the root word will add it as dict. It means to write or speak. And if I add a prefix pre, what do you mean by pre?
Predict means something is about to happen, like
Mm,
forecasting,
you're trying to
uh,
forecast. You're trying to anticipate.
anticipate.
So that is predict. But if I add a suffix ion,
Diction,
prediction. So ion means it's a process.
process.
So you're doing prediction. You're doing that process where you predict what's going to happen in the future. You're speaking or writing the things that might happen in the future. I can predict one thing with 100% accuracy. That is, within 1 hour, it will be 12 p.m. in India. Sorry, 12 a.m. in India. 100% accuracy.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Right, so that's prediction. People do it to a different extents, but I'm just mentioning the obvious. So once you understand these things, you need to understand how grammar works. I'll give you a simple word. I recently shared a word. Let me share the same thing from Telegram. It's already available with everyone. So I think that word was assimilate. Yeah. The word is beautiful, but let me take assimilate from one of my students' text. Yeah. So once you understand prefix, roots, and suffix, you need to understand these things. So what do you mean by assimilate?
To
Something
understand fully.
So
accumulate.
take in and understand. There are different forms. So verbs. So assimilate is a verb. So there is assimilated V2. There is assimilated again V3 used for passive voice. Then comes the ing form and the plural form. You can use it vice versa. But make sure that you stick to V1, V2, and V3. But when it comes to plural and ing, you can directly mention it instead of saying V4 and V5. Because some people would say V4 as plural and V5 as ing. Doesn't matter. You just need to understand the forms. So nouns, these are the forms. And the ones who are attending right now, or like anyone, if you need this PDF, I can share this whole PDF. Just drop me a DM. Pooja and Ashley, I'll send it to you personally. I'll drop this DM, so it will cover everything that you need.
Yes, sir.
Right? So verb forms, these are all the forms. You can read it later on. This is how the vocabulary works, and this is how it evolves. If we talk about assimilation, can you see again the same thing? ION, it's a process. Assimilate. So
Yeah.
completely take in, that's a process of assimilation. So assimilation is the process of integrating into new culture. Again, there are forms of adjectives: assimilative, assimilatory, then comes adverb, assimilatively. So just make sure that you go through this. This will tell you exactly how a word works. And this is the part called research, the vocabulary. It's something that you need to do for a lot of words until and unless you start understanding this format. Once you're good with the format, you can use grammar effectively along with vocabulary. And I'll show you one more thing. I'll take a simple word that is apple. This is the task that I did with recent students. I'll share it here. So, what is the word apple? Is apple a common noun? Or is it a proper noun?
Proper noun.
It's a common noun. But what if I say Kashmiri apple?
There it is. Then it is proper now. Yeah.
Got the difference? So, if you're just saying apple, it shouldn't be capitalized until and unless the first letter, it is the first letter of the sentence. And we'll use the article an because it starts with the vowel sound a, apple. Then simple sentence, compound sentence. I'll just go through the heading. I'll share this PDF so you can read it peacefully. So simple, compound, complex, compound, complex. Okay, we clashed with other things. So 1 second. Okay, it's a lengthy, like it's a long slide. Yeah. So active, passive, direct speech, indirect speech, individual incidents, habitual actions. Then comes the tenses: past simple, past perfect, past continuous. I'll just jump into one. I'll show you the possibility of what we can do when we know proper grammar. So I'll take this one. So this is past simple. It says I ate an apple. This is past simple. But then there is past simple passive as well. An apple was eaten by me. So this becomes past simple passive. Is this clear? This is the second form. One form is past simple, the second form is past simple passive. Are these two forms clear?
Yes, sir.
Then comes past simple negative. I did not eat an apple. That is also a sentence. Then comes question. Did I eat an apple? Can you see I'm just talking about one thing? So there are four forms. One is the basic tense, past simple. Then the second one is passive. The third one is negative. And the fourth one is question. And then there are all these variants: past perfect, past continuous, past perfect continuous, present simple, present perfect, present continuous, and all these things. I'll just skip this part. Got it? And do you have to learn this for every word, every noun? We just took apple as an example. Do you think that once we understand this, the rest of the language will automatically make sense? You just need to understand this format. This is the format of grammar. This is what they're looking for. And for speaking, these are some of the other skills. You can start using being to showcase what your trait is. So being a fitness enthusiast, I eat an apple every single day. Another one is none other than little did I know, and an idiom. He's the apple of my eye. So a favorite person. Did you see? We just took one word, that is apple, and this is what we are capable of doing once we understand grammar.
Mm.
Correct? So we covered everything. So this is something you don't need an IELTS tutor for this. You need a grammar expert who understands these things. And where are we? Yeah. So, as I said, this part is your green zone. You can learn it by yourself, you can prepare for it by yourself. And then comes this part where you need someone who knows what they're talking about. Because the internet, YouTube is full of people who are experts of these and start teaching IELTS. And they end up making a lot of mistakes in task achievement, task response, and cohesion coherence. Because IDP requires a particular way, British Council requires a particular way that you need to write your essays in a proper format. And when students start using on the darker side, I pen down by saying, I know that it's already taught by someone who is an expert of this part, the green part. Because it's a language, it's a language used in movies, anchors use it, it's a hot debated topic and stuff like that. They are not wrong, it's a part of English, but they don't know which ones to use and which ones not to use. Correct? See, right now I can speak fluently. What if I don't know anything about IELTS? I can just read something on the internet and I can say that I can speak well, I'm an IELTS tutor, without knowing what task achievement or task response is, or CC. And that is when students start following these influencers, so called, because they have good charisma. When they speak, people listen because their fluency is good, their pronunciation is good. And this aspect, I think Ashley and Pooja, I've covered this part for you. Task achievement, task response, cohesion, coherence. You know exactly what it is, what these things are.
Yeah.
You're not lacking in these things because I know that I've covered 100% of this. What you're lacking is this part. There is something beyond these things that you need to have a cool mind. During the examination, it is stressful, it is extremely stressful. But you need to have a cool mind. IELTS cannot teach this, or a spoken English expert, they won't teach this. Knowing the language, you won't learn this by default. You need to have self control, and control begins with having a calm mind. And where does clarity last, or clarity, where does it exist? Not last, the word is incorrect. Where do you find clarity? You're talking about clarity. Yeah. Where do you find clarity?
When we do the thing with the proper techniques and we are doing, like, timing is also important. So when you are doing in a right direction, then definitely you get the clarity. When you have the knowledge, when you are confident that what you have to say and what is meaning of that, so definitely you have cleared already. Ki you have to deliver this much only, and what is important and what is not important. So this shows that you have amazing clarity about the topic.
Let me show you something. Would you consider this as clarity? Is this clear? Is this considered as clarity? Or is it considered as chaos?
Chaos. Everything is in a systematic way. Then
No.
definitely you will get clarity.
Is this clarity, or let me show another image? Or is this clarity?
Another one.
So why is this clarity and the other not clarity? So this is clarity.
Because the first one is looking that there's something like it is looking chaotic, like messed up, and there's a lot of there's like storm. So there's a lot of noise. There is a lot of mess.
And what
So
about this
how
one? And what about this image?
peaceful, calm, clear,
And how
and
do people achieve this state of mind? It's not by preparing for IELTS. It's not about learning vocabulary, grammar. So everything that we just read failed if we want to achieve this. So this is not achieved by hard work or practice or research. Nothing works here. So what do you need to do there?
Yeah, definitely people should have peaceful mind, then definitely.
What you
I
need to
mean,
do to
people
achieve this?
they need to sit for a moment. They need to think about that what they want. I think they need to spend some time,
What is that kind?
like in their own company, like doing meditation, listening motivational videos.
No, not
Um,
motivation videos. Those things, if you have noticed, that when you watch a motivation video, you are all fired up. You want to kick things, you can to start jumping, and you want to start completing tasks. But if you notice, after a while, you get back to your default mode because you found external motivation, and external motivation comes with an expiry.
yeah,
If you think about
internal
kids,
people should, they actually need internal motivation.
and how do you find that? I'll give you one of the best examples. If you have noticed, kids who shift from their homes to hostels where they have to do a lot of chores by themselves, do they start doing it, or do they wait for motivation?
They start doing.
They start doing it because if they don't have clean utensils, they will have to eat inside a dirty plate, and that is not something that humans or civic humans do that. It's not civic, it's civil. Civil humans don't do that. We need a clean plate. And who will wash the utensils? Do we have a
Their
maid
parents,
at a hostel?
yeah, the servant or the who is or like
What
who
if you're
had
not
that.
able to afford that? What if it's a cheap hostel where you have to do things by yourself? What if you're an adult? Like, okay, kids have those luxuries, parents will pay for those things. But think about a man or a woman who is living in a room, a rented room. Who will clean the utensils? Yourself, or will it do it by itself? You have to do it by yourself. That is internal motivation. Alright? So, external motivation, it's good, but it has an expiry date. But internal motivation, that's life. Because if you don't do it, nobody's going to do it for you. And as I said, if you need clarity, you need to start with meditation because that's the only way.
Yes, sir.
And circle of life, we started with clarity, we are ending this session with clarity. Confidence, again, as I say, it's not something that you will find somewhere it's not something you find somewhere else, it's something you already have within yourself, but you need clarity.
Yeah.
All right. And
Yeah.
one last thing I would share is a confident speaker has undeniable truth to share with the world. So when someone says something with confidence, they are speaking the absolute truth they have.
Yes, sir.
There are many arguments towards that because people do lie confidently these days. I'm not talking about those things. Those are exceptions, of course. But if you have 100% confirmation of what you are speaking is true, you would speak it with all your might. Correct? So, we'll sign off with the 54th Q&A session. I hope that you guys learned something of value. As always, I tried my best to share value. I tried to answer the questions. Today specifically, you guys did not ask me questions related directly to IELTS, but I tried to like imbibe all the things and put it together in this session.
That's the beauty of your knowledge, sir. That's the beauty. It's an art, and actually, if suppose I think you remembered already that when I asked you the question when I took my first exam, like first time for the very first time,
Hmm.
you mentioned that there is no problem in your preparation and there's nothing to do with, but you just I think you performed really bad. There is a performance. I mean, there's an error in performance. You were nervous. and that spoiled your game.
Yeah.
So the it was, if I have a problem in that part, right? So how I can jump in another part and can do well. So that is my that I know that since very long time I have same problem. You know the thing, but one by one I'm covering the shell and I'm just trying to find out the original, the OG one. So I don't know where I'm going to do, but definitely I'm trying to do this. And right now I'm fumbling, and it's an intention, it's an approach, whatever I have right now. So definitely it's just cause of that. There is nothing to do with other people that okay they are problem for me. No. I have generated the problem by my own. So I think this is the only person, that is me, who is going to solve the problem. So thank you for. I think it is amazing session, full of motivation, sir. Next time, definitely, if I am joining your session, then I'll come by few IELTS based questions because I know the value of your time. So definitely, I won't give up, and I won't waste your time also.
Say it's not about wasting. It's never about wasting time. Every question has a reason that stems from a thinking that happened in the past. These are not questions that you came up with right now. These are thoughts that were going through your mind for the past couple of months. And I'm glad that you asked these questions. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So, as I say, keep practicing, keep moving forward, always learn from your mistakes, and make sure that you try your best that you're not repeating the same mistake. See, it's an effort that we have to put because a habitual mistake is something that is not in our complete control, but being conscious, being alert is the only thing that you have to do in order to fight and combat these habitual errors. Correct? And about performance, it's something that is internal. That's an internal fight with yourself if it is a performance problem.
Yes,
And the only way is making sure that you're getting comfortable with the test, you're getting comfortable with speaking. Right now you are able to communicate effortlessly in front of these people. Like we recently had Chirag, we right now have Ashley, right now you are also communicating with me. So right now you're able to speak with many people, like not just one-on-one context, you're able to speak with multiple people. So
yeah,
if it is in front of an examiner, that's not a big thing. Like, come on, it's just a person.
yes,
So it's inside your mind. Performance is all about what do you think, and while performing, don't think about the outcome. If you are thinking about I made this mistake, I'll lose half a band, then you're gone. You are focusing on the outcome now instead of focusing on the current thing, the current action that you need to take.
yeah,
Alright? So just focus on the current action, and it has the power to change your future. You can do nothing about the past. It's gone. Once it is gone, it's gone forever. It's concrete. But the future, it's up to you what you want to create.
for that I need to secure my present.
Yes, because the power lies in the present, not in the
Yeah.
past, because those are things that has already happened, that is set in stone. We cannot change even a single leaflet from the past. Once a leaf moves, it's moved forever. But the
Yes,
present, it's up to you. The future, nobody knows. See, right
yes,
now we would consider ourselves as one of the most luckiest people on this planet because we survived the entire day. There are many people who did not even reach home, so far far luckier than they. There is
yes,
this Indian actor called Rajpal Yadav. I think that's his name. So
yeah,
he was asked like, what did you do during your bad times? And he'd be like, I never had those bad times because I've always been walking on two of my feet. I've been breathing. So a bad time would be, this is his words, a bad time would be a bike running over your feet and you become crippled. Bad time would be you not waking up the next day. So every day you wake up, that means you are lucky. You're far luckier than many people. Alright? So
yes,
if you have everything, you just need to keep putting in efforts. You need to keep showing up. Currently we have a lot of subscribers. If you noticed, we have like 500 something, like 550, 560. I'm not even counting these days. As of now we have 583 subscribers. How many people joined these sessions? There were a few people I saw on Telegram, but they did not join the actual Q&A session. Like the Q&A session is happening here, they are just seeing a reflection of that. So if you have a
It was
doubt, yeah,
450 Q&A session. And I guess when they are opting, when they are purchasing a full course, maybe the 5 week course, maybe, and they are giving 10,000, 15,000, and so on. And what they get in return, that is also not worthy to mention. So if they're not putting intention, like if they don't have any intention to learn, so definitely no one can push them.
exactly.
Like no one can force them.
Before we close this session, I'll share something that I saw recently. So recently my mom was hospitalized, and there were a few people from different parts of my hometown, different parts of Gujarat, from India. Like there were many people. Like I saw them, and when I struck the conversation, I came to realize that they are not staff. I thought that they were staffs of the hospital, but in fact, they were addicts from different parts of Gujarat and India. And what they said is, they did not become addicts by their own choice, it just happened with them. And they still blame their friends. So they got that environment of addiction and they became addicts. And they still curse their friends, like they hate their friends like anything, who pushed them to start this behavior. So it's all about your surroundings. You need to surround yourself with good people, like people with pure intentions, people who push you constantly forward. So as
Yes,
of
sir.
now, as you're preparing for IELTS, try to find people who are already motivated, they have their why clear, so they will push themselves and the people who are surrounding them. And if you don't find anyone, if you think that you're in utter darkness, that means you might be the light. You just need to look clearly.
Okay, sir.
Correct?
How's your mother?
Far better, but the thing is, it's her second operation. She had a cataract operation, so it's a second operation, so she is not that worried.
Okay, then you need to take care of her for at least 1.5 months. She's, I think
Yes.
1 month she's not able to touch the water.
Yeah. And that is the reason we did not have those previous Q&A sessions. That is the reason I missed them.
It doesn't matter. I think the your mother was your priority, and I didn't know that you were having such problem. You're going through such hospital things.
We all do, dear.
So,
We all do have something or the else going on with our life. And
yeah,
that reminds us to be gentle always, be kind. Because we don't know what people are going through.
yeah. Make sure she's taking all the eye drops and medicine on time,
I have a
and
timer
she,
for every 3 hours. So every 3 hours
yeah,
it rings and I start like pouring it. Like my
and
mom does it by herself now.
she shouldn't have any exposure of light directly in
Yes.
her eye, or not a single drop of water.
Yep.
Sure. So
So as I said,
take care of mother, sir.
yeah, definitely. As I said, it's her second time, so she's more careless now. So I have to make sure
Yeah.
that she is following the things.
She has antibodies, sorry. She has antibodies
Yeah.
to 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 tackle that problem and the suffering, whatever she has now.
All right then, Ashley, you did not speak much, so I would like to listen to your conversation before we end the session. How's your health? Let's start with that.
I didn't understand. The voice was breaking.
Yeah,
Can you tell once more?
sure. How is your health right now?
Now I am feeling much better.
Awesome.
Everything is okay.
Perfect. Do call me tomorrow once you're free.
Okay, so
All right.
yes.
Sure. So we'll end this session. That will be the end of our 54th Q&A session. Our next Q&A session will be on Saturday at 10 p.m. I'll be scheduling it right now on Telegram channel. But as I said, we are no longer hosting our sessions on Telegram. Instead, we'll have it on Google Meet.
Yes, sir.
And this entire session was broadcasted, not your faces, not your names, but the session was broadcasted. The screen that was shared on this screen was broadcasted on YouTube as well, along with Telegram. All right. Sure. So, thank you so much for joining. I'm always grateful that some of you are constantly joining, even after clearing IELTS. Sometimes, like, you're taking a break and you're still joining, and it's amazing to talk with you people because your dedication is the only thing that will push you forward. And I'm lucky to witness it. I would say that it's my honor to witness it because one day in the future, I know that I'll get a call from a random person who joins these Q and A's, random students that yes, things did work out for them, and that's something that I want to hear.
Definitely, I'm feeling honored that I'm joining this session, sir, despite the fact that I don't have such right time, but I'm lucky that I'm joining this session.
And I'm lucky that
Thank you.
I have you during these sessions.
Thank you.
Chalo.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night. Chalo. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Ashley.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.